Hey, welcome to R&Rts episode 2. My name is Rhodes.
And my name is Rodman. We should sit back, relax, and get into some art.
Right on. So we are starting off with your video today. Let's go over the prompt a little bit.
Yeah, so the prompt today was something super simple. We are just trying to make a banner for the YouTube channel, and we really just wanted to go at it like blind so that we both have our own input on what we want, you know?
Yeah, I think we were really leaning into the fact that the name of our channel is R&R, and we're kind of focusing on the duality of us.
Duality of man.
Yeah, really it's a duality of man episode, so if you're not into that, go ahead and turn off the video. No, I'm just kidding.
No, stay, please.
Please don't go. So the general idea is that we took the canvas size for like what is required for a YouTube banner, or I guess any banner in general, and we put our little text logo in the middle, and then we split that canvas in half. So Rodman will be doing one half of the canvas, and I, Rhodes. It feels so odd to call ourselves by our last names, but I mean, we did this. This is our brand. So
Yeah. Lean in.
We split the canvas in half. So essentially, he's going to be designing the front half of the canvas. I'll be designing the back half of the canvas, and then at the end of the video, we'll see what it looks like when we put them together to make one big, glorious R&R banner. So with all that said, let's go ahead and hop into Lucas's time lapse here.
All right. So I was basically trying to find a way to fit everything into the area that it was looking for. So you'll see me go through and like edit everything into that size. And then I was kind of thinking like maybe doing like landscapes or something, because I really like doing landscapes of stuff. I love painting and all of that. And then I was like, okay, well, what if I like did like a spray paint thing, or like the like classic like 2000s like hands on the camera pose, like, and then, did my name backwards. I was just trying to like have some fun variety. And then like I thought of like, I enjoy the design of like 90s stuff, so that's why I chose those colors, and almost did that on that one background, but then I kind of like gave up and then went back and forth, and somewhere towards the end I choose one that like was just like a random idea that I was like, yeah, that one's cool. Oh, and then this one was when we were talking about if we were just going to straight up put like IPs and stuff on the image. And while it's cool, it's not exactly cohesive as a piece. So I chose to move on and try something different. So I went and looked through a bunch of like different poses from people and got a little tired of it and wanted to do something else. And then I remembered that I really like Paramore, so this one's going to be heavily Paramore inspired. I drew some little animals and stuff and the poses that they did for one of the music videos. And then I was like, well, what if my character was wearing the jumpsuit and like, in the music video, quote unquote. So I really wanted to have fun with that. So I went and pushed it, and I like the little sketchy style that I put into the guys down here. They have a lot of character and I love it. And then the background of Hard Times was very inspirational to this one too. I really enjoyed how liminal it felt, since liminal is a pretty popular thing going on right now. And I didn't want to go too crazy with like colors. I really thought I was gonna like do like splashes of color all over the place, and then I was like, well, I'll keep it simple. So I feel like my pros to this was I had a lot of fun just like drawing whatever I wanted. I really like having less restrictions, but I do understand that restrictions are also good for art and getting better. And then like, I don't know, there was someone on the last video that was like, I have no idea what focal points are. And I, like putting something in the center where the banner is going to shorten down is really like what I was focusing on, and that's the focal point, where the eye goes first. And then I think if I were to do it again, I would probably do more color. I do enjoy black and white because it's so simple, but color is it uses a different part of my brain, at least it feels like it. And it makes it much more vibrant and playful, which I think would have helped bring this piece up in quality wise. So yeah, that's my piece. What do you have to say, Jake?
What do I have to say? What do you mean? No.
What do you mean?
I think this is cool. It's very fun, very playful. I mean, I agree that a little bit of color probably would have taken this even further. I do like how simple this is. I think I'm like so unfamiliar with Paramore that like I don't know any of these references, but I love this like cat and raccoon like doing this weird hanging on the shoulder thing. I don't know what that is, but I love it. Yeah, I like how like aloof and playful your character feels. Yeah, I think this is fun. This is very fun. I'm kind of glad you didn't go with color because not to spoil anything, but there isn't any color in my in my piece either, so it might actually make it look more cohesive as a banner. Something I wanted to talk about as far as that focal point discussion goes is I don't know if you watchful viewers caught at the beginning of this time lapse, but when there's those big red and blue lines, we sort of set that out as this is the part that's going to be the most visible during the banner when you actually look at it on the page. And so we wanted to focus like the most important part of the piece within that sort of like middle third of the drawing. So we sort of set out with the goal of like we need our focal point, the most important point of the piece, to be within that middle third, which I think you did well. I think it's your character's face. Look at him. He's chilling. He's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So all of these are Paramore references. This little freaking octopus guy with the eyeball.
No, so that is actually just a reference to the first like thumbnail that I did.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
wanted to do something that was like summer fun and like felt light and playful,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was thinking of doing like laying in the water is what it was. Is like laying in the water and things floating all around me, and I was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but it's like it's just drawing like reference to stuff, and like I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be able to incorporate something that I do like but be able to do it in a way that is not as obvious.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had no idea, but granted, I'm not like I've heard Paramore, but I'm not like,
Yeah.
um, I do kind of want to jump into your thumbnails a bit
Okay.
because I had a lot of fun watching you explore these, and a lot of these are very interesting ideas. And I think that's like one of the benefits of the way that we're operating this channel right now is like showing the thumbnails and showing like how we got to where we are, like how we explored ideas before we settled on a final piece. I think a lot of these are super fun. I love the Rodman with the like spray paint look on it, and
Mhm.
the what is the I'm thinking of like that Chromeo video where he slowly slides towards the camera where his hand is out, like it almost looks like that, the pose you have your guy in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's very the like summer fun vibes. Yeah, this was a fun exploration. I love the illustrative implications of your bottom left thumbnail where he's hanging on the fence.
Mhm.
I think that's such a cool idea, and you have this like big, like I imagine some sort of like Godzilla back fight in the background or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly.
Like that's so cool. That might be something you explore in the future because I think that's a really fun idea for like illustration. I mean, in general, what we were taught in school is like illustration is about storytelling through
Mhm.
like a visual media, and I think that has a really strong sense of that. It really feels like you're telling a story.
Right.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. This is a fun piece. It's very you'll see when you get to mine, but I'm very glad that yours is bright and light because I
Okay.
had a feeling that yours would be, and I was like, I'm gonna bet it all on black, and I did the opposite. So
Okay.
I think there'll be like a cool contrast. We'll see when we combine them together.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so with that said, let's hop into mine. So, unfortunately, I am still pretty new to Clip Studio, and I made a mistake when I was working on this piece, and I something happened where it no longer allowed me to export my time lapse. So, you make mistakes. The second video, this happens. I will not do that in the future. And I think this is kind of a good opportunity to almost like look under the hood a little bit, and you guys get to see like layer by layer how I got to where I ended up. So yeah, we're gonna hop into it. This is the starting canvas that we had. As you can see, I have the right side of the banner. Yeah, these are the lines I was talking about, where like this middle third of the piece is like the most important section. So I will go ahead and turn this off and hop into my first set of thumbnails here. So this first thumbnail, I was kind of just like, I wanted an amalgamation of a bunch of different stuff I wanted to draw, as well as my little character in the middle. That was really the only prerequisite we had when we set out with this prompt, was you got to have your character and then the half of the R&R. Everything else is up for grabs, so you can do whatever you want. And so my thought was like, my guy is holding the pen, and the pen is sort of swooping around in these bursts of ink that splits the world into a bunch of different dimensions, and it's like a bunch of different stuff I like to draw. So there's like a mellow pond landscape. There's this bird with like an arrow careening towards it. A bunch of like, I was thinking like scary faces. On sort of the bottom right hand section, I have this like man with a TV for a face. In the very bottom, that little blob is supposed to be like a little frog guy, and there's like snakes crawling towards it. And then on the left, I have some eyeballs and a hand with a big knife. I don't know. I just wanted something very action-y. So that's my first thumbnail. My second thumbnail is, my guy looks a little bit more evil here. I was thinking like, my character standing, and his shadow behind him is casting all of the things that I like to draw, and like things about my personality. And so there's just like a bunch of random stuff I thought of there. I was like, oh, this would be cool to draw. And then I also included the little frog again, the little blob frog. And then my last thumbnail here, I was thinking more of like a early, I mean, not even really early 90s, but like a sort of like a crossover comic cover, like something you would see on like an X-Men cover, where all of the heroes or villains are sort of jumping into action. It's sort of this like exciting, there's like a sense of movement and momentum. And that is the thumbnail I ended up going with. So this is where we started. Yeah, it's just my guy hanging out. I got a big eyeball, a gigantic ink pen, and a few other random things. So from there, we can go into the refined sketch. I have it all in blue because I like to change my layers to a lighter color when I go over again. This is the refined sketch that I ended up on. I have just a bunch of random stuff I like to draw. Obviously, I mean, I've talked at length about this with Rodman here, but I really love this character that I made, this goblin version of me. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it so much, so I had a lot of fun drawing him. And I love drawing horror stuff, so I tried to have a little bit of horror without it being like so visceral that as soon as someone sees our YouTube banner, they run in fear. So I have this like giant eyeball, this little fish with wings, but it's also like eating the bird. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I was just having a lot of fun just like exploring what was in my mind while also sticking to the stuff that I know. On the top left, I have this crab man in a suit jumping down. I love drawing this human crab character. I've got some more scary stuff. There's like a skull with a face in it. Hands is like gotta be one of my favorite things to draw ever. And I love the sort of movement that this giant hand adds to the piece. Here's my blobby frog again. I wanted to draw something that I want to learn more of, and I clearly don't know how to do especially well yet. This is like a giant mech. I think sci-fi is so cool, and I've just not really had a good chance to explore it. And so I tried to sort of differentiate this mech from, this is obviously based on Neon Genesis Evangelion. For those of you that are familiar, it's a show about giant mechs fighting each other, but it's also a show about depression. That's a story for another time. But yeah, I just wanted to draw a giant mech in the back to add sort of a sense of scale and show like maybe some of the stuff I want to explore in the future. So that is it for the refined sketch. Once I had that done, I did a layer of inks on top. So these are my inks. The reason why this is in white will become apparent later, but essentially something I like to do when there's a lot of heavy blacks, so like this hair is black. I don't want to lose the detail of like the eyebrow going over the hair, so I just changed the color of the line to white, just sort of expanded on the sketch. Then I was like, this piece needs some grass, so I threw a bunch of grass in there, and then I was like, you know what this piece really needs is a background, so I threw this background in there, which I should move down here. There we go. Now you can actually see it. And then I started to block in all of my flats, which is here. And I think there's one more. There we go. Just to obviously separate them from the background. But yeah, as you can see, it's like a lot darker. And I noticed our precious R&R was being lost. And I was like, well, let's just turn that white. That'll fix things up just like that. And then I was like, these guys are still standing out a little bit too much, so I ended up doing a multiply layer on top of everybody to add a sense of lighting. It's not like perfectly realistic. Obviously the giant shade from this hand would be covering up like everything in the foreground, but again, I wanted to care about my focal points, which is everything in this middle third, so I really wanted to make sure my character's face was like visible, so I didn't go too hard on the shadows there. And then I did a final round of lighting to make sure some of the stuff in the back doesn't get lost, a little bit of like almost like rim lighting on the crab character. And I guess for some reason I gave my character almost like an Adidas stripe on the side of his pants. And yeah, this is my final piece. So what I think works really well, I think it does show like the stuff I like to explore in my personality, and I like that it is, I sort of like the values that I went with here. I think I maybe could have pushed the contrast a little bit further. That would be probably my biggest critique there. And then obviously I think this mech in the top right is a little too derivative and not enough of my own Rhodes flavor, which sounds insane saying out loud, so I'll never do that again. Yeah, I think it works pretty well. I think I'm pretty happy with how it came out. What are your thoughts?
You just had to go and show me up, didn't you?
What?
No. No, I really like it. I like the fact that we both did like opposite things, that like you went really dark and I went really light. And I didn't know you were expecting that, but I feel like subconsciously I was also thinking the same thing.
There we go, same wavelength. Let's go.
But yeah, no, you hit it out of the park, dude. Like,
Aw, jeez, you.
I
Thank
really
you.
I really like how you did like the details on all of the things around your character, and you also got the R on your shirt, which I completely forgot, and now I feel bad.
Well, your guy's wearing that jumpsuit though, so it makes sense that he doesn't have.
No, it looks awesome. I love this. This is
Thanks,
perfect.
man. I appreciate that. So that's all I got for mine. Again, next time I promise I won't mess up the time lapse. But I hope you guys enjoyed like going through each layer and sort of how the process works on a. It's almost like a slower scale than doing it in the time lapse. So there you go. So yeah, this is the end of my piece. And now we are going to show you guys what it looks like when they are combined. So this is what it looks like combined. This looks cool, dude. I think this looks good.
I think this looks awesome. I think this together is really good.
It's a really good balance. I think we somehow magically, without communicating, hit the right balance of values here that showcase who we are as artists. So this is fun to see it combined. I wasn't expecting to feel so euphoric, dude. I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah, for real. It feels so nice to see it together after like talking about doing it by ourselves. I was like, wait, no, I want to see your thumbnails. Wait.
I know. I had to control myself so hard to not go into the file and just like see what you had done. So I was like afraid. Like I was like, oh man, I kind of want to match what he's doing, but I don't want to mess it up. No, this is fun. This is super fun. I love how this looks.
Oh, this was really fun.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it on the actual channel. It's gonna look so cool.
Right. This is super cool.
And that is gonna be all for this episode. Thanks for joining us. Please let us know if there's any of this sort of stuff you want to see in the future. If there's any prompts or ideas you'd love for us to explore, we'd be super happy to work off of what you guys want to see,
Thank you guys again for watching. Hit the subscribe button, got to do all those things. Hit the like button, hit the notifications just so you know when we upload. We will see you in the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye-bye.